Take my table? Okay, guess I'm joining you for lunch. This was fall semester freshman year. Tuesdays I had back-to-back classes with 45 minutes between them. I usually skipped lunch, but that day I'd also skipped breakfast because I slept through my alarm. By third period, my stomach was growling so loud the guy next to me asked if I was okay. The dining hall was half full when I got there. I grabbed 2 slices of pizza and fries, the fastest thing I could eat, then found an empty 4-person table near the windows. I set my tray down and walked to the drink station about 20 feet away. Took maybe 30 seconds to fill my cup. When I turned around, 4 people were sitting at my table with their own food. My tray had been pushed to the corner. My phone was still there, wedged underneath. I stood there confused for a second. These were upperclassmen for sure. 2 guys and 2 girls, all just sitting there staring at their plates. Not talking, not eating really, just sitting. The weird part was, there was another empty 4-person table right next to mine. I checked the time on my phone. 11 minutes until I had to leave. If I went looking for another table, I'd waste 3 minutes walking around. If I said something, I'd waste even more time arguing with strangers. I was genuinely dizzy from not eating. So I pulled a chair from the empty table next to us and sat down at the end, grabbed my tray and started eating. All 4 heads turned toward me at once. The guy closest to me had his water bottle tilted mid-drink and just stopped. I took a big bite of pizza and pulled out my phone like nothing was happening. Complete silence. The kind where you can hear the kitchen staff talking across the room. One girl kept looking at the guy diagonal from her. He kept giving her these tiny head shakes. She looked back at her food, but her fork just hovered there, not moving. I was halfway through my first slice when the girl at the far end suddenly stood up. Her chair scraped loud against the floor. She grabbed her tray, shot the others a look that said she was done with whatever this was, and walked straight to the tray return without a word. Now, 3 of them. The guy nearest me kept glancing at his phone like he was checking time. Nobody was really eating anymore, just moving food around. I finished my first slice and started on the fries, scrolling through my phone with my other hand. Around minute 7, the guy across from me put his fork down hard. Okay, what are you doing? I looked up. Eating lunch. This is weird, he said. You took my table, I said. There's one empty right there. I nodded toward it. The girl next to him dropped her face into her hands and said, "Oh my God, I told you someone would eventually do this." He ignored her. You were supposed to move. Why would I move? I got here first. We're doing a study, the girl said through her hands. She lifted her head and looked genuinely stressed. Dr. Patterson's paying us $20 each to take occupied tables and document confrontation responses. We've done this maybe 30 times over 2 weeks. Everyone either leaves immediately or starts yelling at us, the guy next to her added. He looked more annoyed than anything. You just sat down. We literally have no category for that in our data sheet. The girl pulled out her phone. And now Bree just texted the group chat that she's out. She said sitting here in silence while you ate was the most uncomfortable thing she's ever done, and she's not doing this anymore even for the money. We need 4 participants for the study to count, the first guy said. If one person drops, we have to start over with a new group, and we've already done 2 weeks of this. The other guy, who hadn't said anything yet, spoke up. Plus, our presentation is due Friday. We don't have time to recruit someone new and redo all the trials. We're basically failing now. I wiped my hands on a napkin and stood up with my tray. That sucks, but maybe don't steal people's tables. The stressed girl actually laughed, but it sounded kind of defeated. Yeah, we probably should have seen this coming. I made it to my next class with maybe a minute to spare. Ran into one of them, the quiet guy, like a month later at the library. He told me they ended up having to completely change their study topic and turn in a late proposal. Their professor gave them an extension but docked them a letter grade for poor experimental design. Apparently, I became a case study example in their department about why you need to account for unpredicted variables.